Oh, my hair is static. Sorry, but oh. Good morning, everyone. This is Evelyn Churan from Churan's Tiny Homestead. Hang on here. Oh, my hair from the wood stove gets super static. I took a hot bath yesterday, washed my hair. I do that about once a week or once every second week. I don't have to shower every day. And when you're living off grid, you don't shower every day. You, because I'm bringing potable water in. But I got a new development here. I just had 9 barrels delivered 2 days ago. So now I'm building a rain catchment system. So this is a barn. So I have steel roof. So I'm going to be adding rain gutters to the steel roofing because the water and ice falls right directly along the house. So I've ordered heater coils that are going to be coming in. That's going to be attached to the roof also. And then I'm going to have rain gutters. And then I've also I've got 9 rain barrels. I just have to clean them out. So those rain barrels are going to be used for gardening, washing dishes, doing laundry, bathing, things like that. This way it won't touch my potable water until I can dig a well. A well is $17,000. That doesn't count an extra building a shower, plumbing, electrical. To put in, just to build a shower, to put in your plumbing and to plumb in just for washing dishes, I come out to another $65,000 in expenses, and I just don't have that kind of money. So I decided to put a deposit on a sauna. I'm heating my camp with wood. I can heat a sauna with wood, 2 buildings that heat with wood. And I take my showers inside my sauna. It's got everything I need. So a sauna comes out to about $7,000, depending on what you buy for yourself. You can go anywhere from, I think, $6,000 right up to $15,000. I went with like $7,000. So then I'll have my hot showers whenever I want to have a hot shower in the winter. And in the summer months, I can use it with, I can cook my water inside, or I just hook it up to rainwater and I just shower with rainwater. So that's going to be my shower now. So the next thing, cost of living, something I wanted to discuss. Okay, so to get to the point that I've got to, people need to understand living off grid, you don't just jump into living off grid. It's very, very expensive. You need to have a lot of money stockpiled or start collecting all the equipment somewhere in storage to get you ready to move on to off grid, because it's not like you're going to do this for free. Nothing's for free. So the land itself with an empty barn, this was just an empty barn. It had electrical already installed, but there was no hydro here. I had to run hydro from the highway. I was going to go solar panels, but it would have cost me $25,000 to $45,000 to run a full household. Plus, I have to take snow off the solar panels. Plus, it takes up half my property. I just wasn't into that. It was just too much maintenance. I'm not an electrician. It just wasn't something like with me with solar power, with all the electrical involved that you have to understand, I'd probably burn the house down. So I didn't go solar. I do have solar lights all over the property that I've hooked up inside of my outbuildings, and the solar connects outside. It's a little tiny thing. And that's okay for me. That's more than enough solar. And then I save on my hydro cost. Initially, my hydro cost is about $30 a month, $60 with delivery. But my winter months, because I have to keep the water shed, my water house warm, it comes out to about $100 a month. But outside of that, it's a pretty good bill. It cost me $21,000 to run the hydro. Now, the hydro is bought and paid for. I paid cash for all of that. I didn't go in debt. So my property, for me, with the barn on it was $150,000. The people were asking $190,000. I said, no, I'll offer you $50,000, $81,000 deposit. That's all I gave them. I have to pay it off though. So this will be paid off on June the 6th. So right now I'm broke. I have no money to spend on anything except for piles of canning. And instead of buying, I bought fridges, freezers, things like that, upright freezers for food storage. So I'm good with food storage. I got enough food to last me probably another year. I need to pick up some flour and stuff, but 90% of it, I've been living off of my food for 2 years now. I mean, I've added to it, but I also have my own gardens. I put up hothouses. They were like $200 to $300 a piece. Hired a couple of kids to put it up. And that's it. I do my own hothouses, and this way I save on cost. I plant from seeds. I do not buy plants. Sorry. Oh, my allergies are really bad. So now the next thing, here's my yearly bills. So for internet, 12 months a year, it's $150 a month, which comes out to $1,800 a year. Then hydro is $100 a month, comes out to, I'm going on the high end, right? It's not always $100 a year, but I'm going on the winter months, which comes out to at the most $1,200 a year. But it's actually half that. It's probably about $600 a year. But I went high end. Property taxes are $1,700 a year. It doesn't matter if you live in an unorganized township, you still have to pay your property taxes. My house insurance. Now, there's a hard one. To get somebody to insure you off grid is very, very difficult. So shop around before you even consider getting involved in this, because if there's ever a wildfire, you'll lose everything if you're not insured. So my house insurance this year cost me $1,500 a year. Then I have car insurance, but I've got full coverage. So if there is a wildfire and something happens, my truck gets replaced at the exact value it's worth, which is $53,000 brand new. So that's $2,000 a year. I have a plow truck to plow the driveway, $750 a season. Lawn care times 6 times at $250 every time they cut, comes out to $1,500 a season. They only cut my grass twice a month. I don't let it get done any more than that so that the bees can pollinate, and I don't want disease in my grass. If you keep cutting it, it's too short. You're leaving it open for their ground, they're white worms that raccoons will dig up your lawn everywhere. I saw it in Toronto years ago, and I don't want that problem here. So my bills come out to $10,450 a year. So if I do my mathematics and divide it by 12, my overhead, not counting food, I don't drink, so I don't have that expense. So not counting food, $870.83. So that's my overhead to live in this cabin. But I don't gallivant around either. So my tank of gas, I use 1 tank of gas from October right through till May. I do not go driving around. I don't go to casinos or anything like that. I don't go to hotels. I don't go to restaurants. So I use altogether maybe 3 tanks of gas for the whole year. So, I mean, even when I lived out west, when it was the winter months and I had a brand new truck and had an apartment, my truck stayed parked. There was buses that took me into the oil sands. I didn't have to use my own vehicle. So it saved me on wear and tear. My truck is a 2017 Chevy Silverado. It's bought and paid for. And it only has 37,000 kilometers on it. It's still a brand new truck. I need to put a new bumper on it because I back when I was unloading. But I mean, I replaced the bumper. It's a brand new truck. Give it a good vacuum, air it out. It's a new truck, except that my dog goes for rides in it now. I've got dog hair in it now. Never had it before, but I do now. So yeah, that's what my expenses are per year. Now, had I not hooked up hydro at $1,200 a year usage, that's high end, and went solar power, I wouldn't have got that bill. But to install proper solar with the proper batteries, I would have had a payment of $25,000 to $45,000, and I would have had all kinds of extra maintenance to fiddle around with. You need your own area just for the batteries. Apparently, they don't let you keep the batteries inside the cabins anymore. And then you still have to get running water. So unless you're working or living right next to a river, and even that, living next to a river, you have to have a water system that purifies your water. So you're paying money there too, unless you're just boiling your water like I do. You still need your rain catchment system. It's living off grid isn't just, it's not like Grizzly Adams. Okay. I've always wanted to be like Grizzly Adams when I was a little girl. Go out into the bush and just build a house and live off the land and play with bears and deer and raccoons and stuff. That's not really realistic. It may have been realistic in the 1800s, but you can't do that anymore. First of all, well, you can do it, but you still have to spend money on stuff to do the build. You still need tools, or you're going to hand cut everything. I mean, if you want to sit there and chop down logs and do that challenge, well, that's totally up to you. Sorry, my dog is chasing a partridge. I mean, that's up to you. If you have a hunting license, well, that's, again, there's another expense. If you're going to live in the bush and buy a hunting license and buy guns, you still have to lock up your guns. You still have to buy the bullets. You still have to pay your permits. You still have to do your courses. That's an expensive sport for me. So to me, I don't need that stuff. I don't hunt. I can afford to go buy my food. I can afford to grow food. So I offset some of my cost. A lot of my meat comes from local farmers. I bought a place that is all farms around me. So I have that big advantage on my side. But yeah, so I end up with yearly expenses. Actually, my overhead every month is $870.83. But it is a lot of work. You don't get to sit around with your feet up and drink beer every day like you're having a great old time. No, you got responsibilities. You got your camping toilets to clean. You've got wood to pile. You've got trees to prune. You've got trees to cut down for forestry fire management. Because if there is a wildfire, you don't want any dead trees or brush or all kinds of stuff like that in your yard, because you're susceptible to wildfires. Water. Like I said, I'm building a water catchment system to catch rainwater, and that'll be used for my gardening and, stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe I can catch enough water to fill my whole swimming pool, but we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to roll the barrels towards the house right now and starting to clean them up and get them ready for the system, because to build your own water system with water catchment system, it's probably coming out to about $500 for my cabin. That counts gas back and forth to the city, purchasing all the parts, plus hiring a second person to hold it up while I screw it into the house. So I have to have two people because I can't do it alone, right? If you're a couple doing it, then you don't have to hire people. If you know how to cut down logs, you don't have to buy your wood. I bring my wood in every year and I pay for that. And that cost, which is something I forgot to add. For me, I'm paying $2,100 for 20 cords of hardwood cut and split. The reason why I get it cheaper, cut and split and delivered, is because I'm over 55 years old. So I don't get charged the tax and I don't get charged for delivery. But you have to order over 5 cords of wood to get that delivery. I go by a very reputable company named Young Forestry. They haven't steered me wrong. They're very respectable. They're very easy to work with. Now, if you have like 20 acres of bushland, cut your own trees. You don't need them. But it's a lot of hard work. So I don't cut any trees. I'll do some pruning and stuff, but I don't fell trees. I don't do jobs like that. I'm just this big. So I can't afford to get myself injured at 60 years old. So I do what my limits will allow me. I do a lot of stuff on the property, cleaning the property and stuff. It took 3 years to clean it up, and I'm still not done cleaning up. And this is only 2 acres. So to clean up 10 to 20 to 30 acres, to keep it fire safe, because you have to do forestry management no matter what bushland you buy. The whole reason for dead trees are a magnet for lightning and wildfires, and you just don't need it. Anyways, that's about all I have to say about the build. Oh, and yeah, I bought a sauna for $7,000 on a payment plan until it's paid off, because I got to be honest with you, $7,000 for a sauna and $500 for a water catchment system. Well, with the barrels, it's $800 for the water catchment system. So between that, 800 for a water catchment system, 7,000 for a sauna, is a far cry from $65,000 to complete the build. I'm probably going to build a basement in the front of this cabin with a deck over top. And I'm going to put all of my fridges and freezers down there. And that's going to be cold storage and food and water storage. And I'll have some electricity in there and a couple of solar lights in there. But no heat will go in there because it's going to go 10 feet in the ground. And it's all going to be shelving for canned food, cans of food, my rice, whatever, pastas, everything. All my food will be going down into the ground. That's for next year's build. First, I have to dig it. Then I got to get the cinder blocks. I have to build that part. And I'm going to have to learn how to do that myself because I just can't afford labor cost. But once it's built and it has a doorway down into it, it's going to be attached to the entranceway of my house. So I'll have, where my entrance is going to be just a square crossover to it. And there's going to be to go downstairs from there, kind of hidden in the back. It's not going to be in the front of the house. And this side here on the right-hand side will be facing kitty corner because the sauna has glass windows. So I don't want people seeing inside of it. So if I go kitty corner, it faces my thickest bush. And I can also see if somebody's coming up my driveway by the corner of it. And my neighbors won't be able to see me inside of it. The thing about the glass doors with it, I love it for the lighting. But I could have put solar lights inside and I wouldn't have had to bother with great big glass doors, but that's how they build them. I don't like the glass door part. But anyways, that's what's going on with the build. That's all I could accomplish this year for the build, but I'm getting there. I'm plucking away. I'm paying one piece at a time. I'm starting to do trim inside of here. My ceiling has to be torn out and redone completely. That was a waste of money. The contractors didn't do me any favors. They didn't know what they were doing. They should have said, no, Evelyn, I'm not going to do it this way. We're going to tear it all out. I'll buy strapping and then we'll put wood. And it would have been done in a week. But 2.5 years later, it's incomplete. They're all paid for and the wood is now discontinued. And the roof and the ceiling was done wrong right from the get-go. So that's going to have to be torn out altogether. As a matter of fact, I didn't even need to buy drywall, and the guy told me I had to buy drywall. So that drywall could have been used to insulate other areas, but whatever. It's done. It's over. I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm just going to gut it when I have time. It's not a rush. It's not an emergency to get it done. My thing is more water and shower. So if I have that sauna by next fall, I'll stay clean every day. And in the summer months, like I said, I can use it as a shower also. It's got a floor that opens where I can shower in the center. So I don't care. I'm getting a sauna, and it's a savings of, with the water catchment system, it comes out to $72,800 with the water catchment system. So you take that away from $65,000, it's saving me $58,000 or $57,000 doing it this way. So with all due respect, I'd rather save the money than spend the money. Have a nice day, everyone. Signing out. Churan's Tiny Homestead.